On World of Sport tomorrow at 12 noon, a big coverage of today's vital 17th round of matches here in South Australia. Also tomorrow, announcing winners of Coach of the Month, Player of the Month and Rookie of the Month. And McGarry Medal, 1979. Here at Unley, sir, what are your thoughts on the medal this year?
Well, I think Philip Malin will win it, but I'd like to see Rick Davies.
And you, madam?
Being a one-eyed supporter, I think I'd like to go for Phil Heinrich. He's having a good season.
Thank you. Well, they're just two thoughts, and our panel will be having a close look at the McGarry Medal. Not our panel, it's the biggest little panel here in South Australia. Find out more about it by joining us here on World of Sport tomorrow, 12 noon.
Thank you, Sandy. I hope he was not referring to size of panellists there. Perhaps see something in store. Warwick Fenwick been a little bit busy through the week. Now to Football Park, where 6,132 people saw Glenelg meet West Torrens. We join Ian Day and Jerry Harrison at the start of the second quarter. Glenelg 1-5, Torrens 2-6.
Torrens by 7 points as we head into the second quarter here at Football Park. Carey and Giles for the ruck. Manor forced out the back. Giles in the action again. McSporran, Hill waiting the outcome. Finally it's Caldwell who boots high into attack towards full forward. Copping will be a leaper. Grinter there with him, forces the ball out now. A chance for Hurley, can't get there. Copping now in the square is McVicker. If they can get the ball across to him. Torrens desperate in defence. The ball slipped to Hurley, smothered off the boot brilliantly. And a chance for Torrens to clear now as Rendell gets the short one towards the half-back line. McFarlane in. Jackman pushed back by Enright towards Cousins. He can't pick it up. Weston in the action as well, and a bounce down on the Bay half-forward right flank.
Early minutes in the second term. The Eagles leading by 7 points at the first change. Carey beautifully down to McInerney. Fires a high ball, searching the square. Forced down by Rendell into the path of Peter Cousins. Wide he goes around, an awkward-looking kick, almost fires the man in white, and a throw-in to take place beneath the scoreboard, inside the half-forward line of Glenelg. Torrens winning the toss in the first term, kicking to the Southern or Golf Club end of Football Park, but the breeze having no effect on the game. Muir couldn't handle the ball. Hand pass fired wide by Dabrowski, looking for Rendell. McVicker in the van for Glenelg, taken away by Jackman. He kicks high and long to centre wing. Corns dropping back. Lindsay late on the scene, hits to ground. Wide off the ground. Bradley trying to work it through for Glenelg. Torrens go forward, but Carey's in the way this time. Switches play to the outer side. McFarlane's made the space there. Quickly he goes on with an awkward-looking kick off the side of the boot. Copping leads Grinter, but the ball out of play for a throw-in inside the Bay half-forward line.
Copping is come up with an injured hip after the first quarter. He certainly didn't make any impression against Grinter, and I would think Copping would be a far quicker player. The tap from Muir is cleverly to Cousins, not well directed from that player, however, as Carey takes the mark. Playing his 200th game for the Bays today. Congratulations, he's been a great club man for many years. He drives to the half-forward line. Weston there trying to sort it out. Enright in as well for the Eagles in defence. But a bounce down will take place almost at the true centre half-forward position. 2-6 to 1-5 in a low-scoring encounter. Giles over the top, Caldwell towards Hodgman, trying to break his way through there. Was Marshall, but the ball is held to him by Greg White, and once more a repeat bounce.
To do battle, McVicker and Giles, with Rendell coming in to thump forward, but McInerney, not favoured by the bounce, nor Wallace. Minot feeds it wide to Hewitt. He in turn to Greg White. Finally gets the bounce, drives to centre wing, doubling back Lindsay, but a good mark taken on the outer side by McArmfield. 15-metre penalty takes the Glenelg defender to centre wing. Drives high and long to the half-forward line, copping up, couldn't pull it in. Caldwell goes in, Grinter's there for West Torrens, and the umpire once more ruling a stalemate, and the bounce down becoming a familiar scene.
On the outer side, Caldwell, Giles, Hodgman through to McInerney, uses his pace to jump clear or run clear, drives in long towards goal, and that's a fine one. It's McInerney's first goal and the Bay's second, and they pull back now to within 1 point of the Eagles.
It's good football by Glenelg. They've had the ball bottled in their forward reach in there for almost 4 minutes. Then finally the loose one came out, was constructively got across to McInerney, who'd made the space, had a direct run through for goal, and he made no mistake on the run. Glenelg to within 1 point of Torrens on 2-5, the Eagles 2-6.
Carey and Giles. Hewitt waits the outcome. Forced forward by that player to the half-forward line. Johnson spoils. Wallace in. He can't take it cleanly. Bradley out towards Marshall at centre wing. The bounce was a bad one. Greg White sends the Eagles into attack. Cox on the lead. Gets to the ball but can't pull it down. Armfield in defence. Cox slips over the handball to Lindsay. He hooks high in towards full forward. McSparren there. McFarlane at the back of the pack. Goes for safety and fists the ball through for 1 point. Promising attack of West Torrens coming unstuck in the goal square. Point to Torrens, 2-7. The Bays, 2-5.
Keith Coleman going for distance. A beautiful kick. Lobs in the square. Corns and Carey up. The mark paid Corns' way. Glenelg. Copping switched out to centre half forward now. Gives a good lead. Dabrowski's there with him. He couldn't pull it in. Forcing through as Marshall. Works it over to Caldwell. Beautifully then to Hodgman, who settles a left snapshot at goal. Hits the post. We're accustomed to see Kimmy Hodgman kick at goal far better than today. He missed one in the first term, and then on that occasion firing a low trajectory kick which hits the post.
Grinter to the outer side. Giles lumbers over there with Carey. Great mark, Carey. Marshall forced him onto the left leg. No pressure. Straightens up on the right foot. Shoots in towards goal, and that's a magic goal from the wingman. Beautifully set up by Super Carey. And the Bays have hit the front here at Football Park. 3-7 to 2-7.
Team play and stemming from quick reflexes don't come any better than that. A fine mark by Peter Carey, and then as quick as lightning the hand pass was over to Marshall, who had created the loose player. Looked as though he's going to go with a left foot shot, but had time to steady, get balanced on his right foot and split the centre. 3-6 Glenelg, 2-7 Torrens.
Carey with Giles. Carey once more the tap to Corns, puts him into attack to the vacant paddock. It's a battle of the speedsters here. Cousins leads into the race. Hurley comes after that player. Out comes Weston. And it's Cousins who forces the ball across the line. Had no backup support at all. Was forced into that corner and would have been happy to see the ball go out of play. Throw in. McVicker and Rendell. Mano waiting for the tap down. McVicker hooks it cleverly back, but it's Muir behind the pack. Kicks long out of defence towards midfield.
A high ball up, but Johnston in the van for Glenelg. And the Tigers setting up an aerial supremacy at the moment. Directs a high one to centre half forward. Up went Caldwell from behind. Muir spoiled. White goes to ground, and he's got a free kick for interference from behind. Big Greg White from the half back line. Glenelg have interchanged Weston and Copping at centre half and full forward. Kick number 8 from Greg White. Filippo got up high, but the man in front, Robbie Walter, paid the mark. Walter for Glenelg. Drives across looking for Carey. Big fella's up, couldn't pull it in. Hurley got the loose one. McFarlane bursting through. Should be let go through by Caldwell, who got in his path. McFarlane back to Carey. Wide it goes to Corns, who's got plenty of time to settle. Drives to the lead of Weston. No, Copping splitting in and takes the mark inside half forward. It appeared as though Weston was going to give the lead there, and the ball was kicked into the open paddock. But chipping in was Copping, coming in the same side as the ball. He's got an opportunity now to notch his second goal. Kick the first goal of the game at the 12-minute mark of the first term. Notches his second at the 8-minute mark of the second term. And Glenelg go to 4-6, leading Torrens 2-7. Great action from Football Park on 7's big replay.
Certainly nothing in the game. Both sides have been let down kicking for goal, as we mentioned earlier. Coolman, Giles behind Weston. Weston backs up again, hooks the ball centre wingwards, finds McFarlane on the move. McFarlane having a great tussle with Hill, kicks to the half-forward line. Dabrowski lopes across to intercept. Mano, centimetres inside the line. A good long handball finds Cousins, short to centre, but that's a poorly directed kick. And McInerney outmarks the taller Clinton Giles. Slips it to Weston. Caldwell into the pocket. Coming across is Grinter. meets Caldwell. Back in defence is Muir, and the ball tumbles out of play. Throw in, full forward, right pocket, with Glenelg leading by 10 points, and we've played 20 minutes of the second quarter.
To do battle, Giles of Torrens and Carey of Glenelg. Tap out the back, finds Hodgman. Kicks straight up in the air, covers little ground across the face of goal. Coming well down is Greg White. He chips around the corner looking for Muir, but kicks out of play on the full. Deep in the right forward pocket is Hodgman. Plays on, chips away, will go in the goal square. Going alone, Grinter, as Carey goes to ground. Corns appealing for a free kick. Grinter takes the kick, but he'll have to have the ball brought back to kick between the goalposts. As a party has come onto the ground, and Brenton Miller goes to the reserve bench. And Grinter kicks long to the half-back line of the Eagles. McVicker in front. John McFarlane kicking high towards the goal square, dropping back Grinter, marked safely once more.
Defending stoutly for the Eagles. Grinter this time tries the other side. Enright has to go metres to get it. Copping runs in towards the open goal. Under pressure when he finally kicks the ball. Just enough pressure placed on the boy to make him kick off line at 1 point. Most acute angle. Wasn't a good kick in by Grinter then. Try again. 5-8 to 3-9. It's longer, somewhat high, looking for White. Giles in front, pulls down the good mark. Marshall could do nothing to prevent it. Centres the ball. Rendell. McVicker. Johnson. Throws the ball away. Rendell again. Kicks to the half-forward line. Good mark here.
To number 17, Jimmy LaHoo coming out on top. Drives to centre wing, looking for Hurley. Cousins is there with him, but Caldwell marks for Glenelg. Twiggy Caldwell goes short. Didn't put it in front of Corns. Hodgman comes up to help. Straightens. Drives a high ball, searching the goal square. Weston back there with Grinter. To ground it goes. Through goes McInerney. Straight under goal. Left foot shot at goal. Has posted his second. And Glenelg sixth as they go to a 17-point lead.
Well, that's the McInerney we've been used to seeing over recent seasons, but he's certainly not having one of his better seasons at the moment. He's been plagued with injury and just can't get into the action at all. His speed seems to have gone, but that time he rode the ball beautifully. As it came off the goal front crush, he picked it up, forced into the left forward pocket on a most acute angle, hooked it back brilliantly for the Bay's sixth goal and his first.
Clinton Giles from Torrens with Rendell, but he's up against Carey, who got the tap out. As a party working hard. Kicks high. Right out there to the lead of Philippou versus Walter, who fists away. Philippou recovers the better, but the bounce goes away and favours Walter. He kicks to centre wing. The bounce right into the path of Hodgman is well tackled by Azzopardi, allows Greg White in. He chips away short looking for Jackman, intervening Coolman.
Coolman on the half-back line, centres the ball to his half-forward line. Big mark pulled down in defence by Henry Dabrowski. Plays on, no pressure put on him at all. Wobbles one to the half-forward line, looking there for McSporran. Holst in attendance, fists away. Carey the opportunity now. Looks for the handball, gets run down by McSporran, but the kick fortunately finds Stephen Copping. Johnson gives him a lead. The ball finds that player. Now it's Corns. Corns round onto his right leg, kicks in long. This could be a goal. Oh, what a magnificent goal. And there's the candidate for the Ken Max goal of the day on World of Sport tomorrow from Graham Corns.
Yes, they don't come any better than that. It was a fine pass sent in to Corns on the half-forward line by Carey. And then he had to go around defenders, pushing him to the flank. Hooked beautifully, and the ball just carrying as it was well shepherded through. Graham Corns playing extremely well, his first goal, and a 23-point margin to Glenelg now on 7-8 to Torrens 3-9. A very stop-start affair here at Football Park. Kick number 15 from the Glenelg run-on player, drives to the outer side, but Matthew Rendell outmarks Carey, and he'll set Torrens into attack. Between centre and half forward, Rendell drives a high drop punt through the half forward line. Coleman forces it back as a party in. Up comes Philippou to help. Oh, Holst once more coming past Philippou. Not too happy, but he's got the free kick. That should be all he requires. Passes the handball over to Jackman. He chips away short. Floriani well up there, marks inside half forward. Aldo Floriani, as Coleman and Philippou have a few words, and there's more action of a verbal sort than there is on the football field at the moment. Floriani, inside half forward, goes short to the lead of Lindsay, and Bruce Lindsay has got an opportunity to goal, a 45-degree angle, a 20-metre kick. Bruce Lindsay, lovely shot of goal, curled it back beautifully, posts his first goal, the 5th one for the Eagles, and can they come back? They're down by 23 points, 4-11 to 9, 5-11 to 9-10.
Yes, there's a little bit of needless fight being carried on out there at the moment, and the two teams have played all day like their chances of making the final were pretty slim, and it seems like there's an evening up process trying to take place, and it's needless in football, and even now we see players just not happy with the situation. As I said, it's needless.
Corns gets the big fist forward. Floriani intercepts, passes the hand pass out there to Azapati. He's run down, robbed by Weston. Slips it to McFarlane, short to Corns, good catch. He's got Hurley loose, run down. Umpire rules that the West Torrens player infringed, and Corns gets a 15-metre penalty.
He played that beautifully. He's going to have the best of both worlds, Jerry.
Takes him within kicking distance, or within scoring distance of goal now. Dabrowski pinches 2 or 3 metres. But Corns, an opportunity for his second goal. Distance isn't a problem, the accuracy is there also, and a quick reply from Glenelg from the boot of Graham Corns, his second.
Well, he's been a magnificent player for Glenelg all day. He and Carey have set up the opportunities. There's no doubt about it. Since Graham Corns has come back from the VFL, his form in South Australia, both at club and interstate level, has been magnificent. He's come back as though he's about to prove something to everybody at large. He certainly didn't have to prove anything to people in South Australia, but still his form has been brilliant.
Rendell the tap out, hit forward by Azapati, back by McVicker, Hodgman over to Corns. Peter Cousins trying to intervene. Dabrowski goes to ground with the ball, and umpire quickly in for a bounce. Still within the centre square, Glenelg's attacking side. 70 plays 41, Glenelg lead.
Bounce down on the half-forward line, the Bay's in attack. Clinton Giles using his body. Caldwell throws out the handball. Corns cleverly to McFarlane, hooks round the corner. Copping right there is with him is Grinter, forces the ball back, quickly back Cousins, supported by Grinter. Following up well, kicks long towards centre wing, and Wallace, he can't get to the ball. Quickly swooping on it now is Johnson. Over the top, Hill, he in turn back to Wallace. Corns in the action as well. Ball at centre wing. Set up the play now as a party. Got the ball from Jackman. He quickly slips it across to Muir. Torrens go forward, long to the lead of Philippou. Right there with him is Coleman. Philippou has the pace. He's in the pocket. He drops the ball. Holding the ball. Well done, Coleman. Worried him all the way. Hassled him out of it. And the Bay centre-half back comes back towards midfield. Hodgman spectacular. Thrown out towards Mano. Hurley conceding ground. Gets the kick back towards the midfield once more, but in the action for West Torrens is Cox, and he takes the mark unattended.
Doug Cox going long and high through half forward. Forced to ground. Lindsay can't keep his feet. Odds of 3 to 1, and Lindsay decides to trap the ball. A bounce inside the half forward line of the Eagles. They trail by 29 points. Giles and McVicker. Giles the tap. Couldn't get it away. David Bradley in trouble. McSporran slips it to Minot. No support. Greg White chips quickly forward. Dropped in for Glenelg by Armfield, and another bounce to take place. Still inside the Torrens half-forward line. 20-minute mark, third term. McVicker the tap down. David Bradley the hand pass to Peter McNerney, run down by Lindsay. Muir got it over to Dabrowski. A pot shot at the goals by the centre half-back is offline for one behind. 5-12 Torrens, 10-10 Glenelg.
The Eagles have got half their defence in attack at the moment. Dabrowski had a shot for goal. Greg White just a moment ago was up there as well. Muir's down in the attack. So they've obviously made some changes, trying to reduce the margin that they've got at the moment against them. It's 28 points, kicking by Coolman. On the outer side, Johnson. Cox on the floor. Holst draws away, kicks towards Hurley. The back of the pack as a party. Oh, that's a shocking kick. Finds Hodgman. Corns is running. Heads towards the open goal. Sets up the handball for Copping. He's 15 metres out. Pops it through. And that's great football, Glenelg. And Stephen Copping has bottled his fourth goal.
Good constructive football by Glenelg, coming from a mistake by West Torrens as a party kicking blindly. Crossfield found Hodgman. Quickly it went over to Corns. He made the players, he sucked the defenders forward, slipped it over to Copping, and the Glenelg pull forward made no mistake as he posted his fourth goal, and now the Glenelg side get away to a 34-point lead, 11-10 to Torrens 5-12.
6,132 people saw Torrens win by 66 points. Goal kickers for Glenelg, Stephen Copping kicked 5, Kim Hodgman, Graham Corns, Peter McInerney and Paul Weston each contributed 2, while for Torrens, Mark Hewitt got 2. Incidentally, David Holst and Ian Wallace, who was making a comeback for Torrens, were both reported. After the game, Ian Day spoke with Kim Hodgman and Aldo Floriani.
Kim Hodgman, you got off to a slow start in that first quarter, but then you started to fire.
Yes, it was very hard in the first quarter. We knew that Torrens were going to hit us with everything in that first quarter because they had a chance of making the 5. And halfway through the first quarter into the second quarter, we started to run and we started to create the loose play, and goals seemed to come for us pretty easily then.
The fact that the Bays had little chance or no chance of making the 5, do you think that affected your performance one way or the other?
No, we know that we've got a very small chance of making the 5 now, but we want to get a bit of pride back into the side, and if we can win our last 5 or 6 games, you know, team's going to watch us next year.
Aldo, it was a spiritless performance by West Torrens, especially when you had an outside chance of making the 5.
It might have looked that way, Ian, but our boys went out there desperate to try to do something because we've been down. We know that we've been down, we know what we're doing wrong, and we tried to do something about it. But perhaps it looked spiritless from there, but our guys are out there certainly trying.
When, well, you got off to a reasonable start in that first quarter, but then you just lost all forward momentum at all.
Well, we knew before we went into the game that we weren't running, and with run, of course, comes usage of the ball. We ran for a while anyway in the first, say, quarter and a bit, and then it seemed to drop away, and Glenelg got the loose players running.
It's the best I've seen your forwards perform, Kim. Have they played any better than that this year?
Yes, I think 2 weeks ago when we played South the first half, I think we played, it's the best football that we've played this year. We've had a lot of players down, and I was very happy with my co-rover, Peter McInerney. He came back to form today, and players like Corns and Carey. Carey was tremendous in ruck today, and with Copping at full forward, it made it fairly easy.
On the other hand, Aldo, Torrens must be very disappointed.
Disappointed? Is there a word
You've hit rock
worse than
bottom,
that?
really?
Yeah, very much so. Very true.
Thank you, boys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ian.
I do apologise for suggesting that Glenelg didn't win. In fact, it did, and most handsomely. Now, let's look at the other results in the 17th round played in Adelaide today. 7,604 people saw West Adelaide shock success over Port Adelaide. Roger Luders, a very exciting young man, kicked 7 goals, Trevor Pearson 3 and Dean Dunhill 2, while for Port Adelaide, Daryl Cale kicked 5, Paul Belton 3, Tim Evans, Brian Cunningham, Stephen Clifford and Alan Gill each contributed 2. I just wonder if it had been known publicly that Barry Robran was playing, that a few more people would have been in attendance at Oval Avenue. As it was, only 3,554 people watched Woodville go on its winning way. Woodville by 56 points. John Roberts, who played his 100th game and played it magnificently, kicked 7. Glyn Hewitt 5, Brian Close 2, while for North Adelaide, John Baruzzi with 2 goals. 8,449 people were at the parade and saw South go down again, this time, of course, to Nord. For Nord, which won by 15 points, Glenn Rosser, Roger Woodcock, Michael Aish and Rob Button each contributed 2, and of course the first of those 2 for Roger Woodcock gave him his 500th goal for the club, while for South Adelaide, Graham Brooksby kicked 3 and Jeff Linky 2. The aggregate attendance for the 17th round today was 36,066, which certainly was most encouraging after the disaster of that very black and gloomy weekend or last Saturday. Now to the premiership table. And you'll see that Central District has regained a top spot. And look now at South Adelaide on percentage. Its percentage, of course, is far inferior to Woodville, which is 2 points behind it. And South now is running the risk of slipping out of contention. It's had a magnificent start to the season, of course, won the national title or retained the national title. Sturt indeed is under tremendous pressure now. It's a very daunting task for it, whereas Woodville must be feeling just that little bit happier. 1 game clear plus percentage, in effect really 2 games clear. So perhaps Pekka Power will prevail at least for some time in September this year. Don't forget World of Sport tomorrow at noon on 7 as usual. It'll be as informative and entertaining, so please join us then. Thanks for being with us and good night to you.
Presented for your pleasure by Kenmax Electrical Discount House.